Hey guys, Novice Unicorn here. I am a novice. I don't know anything about stock trading. I know nothing about equities, and you probably shouldn't even listen to me. But this is my opinion. Well, my opinion on how to trade spec biofarm in the current instance that we see ourselves in. AUPH had a good bullish move today, and you'll see a lot of people out there reeling that this is going to go to 12 or 10 or 9 or whatever. You can see my buy here, my sell here on this move, and you have earnings coming up in a few days, a week. But the interesting thing to note here is that what is the general pattern on these types of stocks? I haven't prepped for this video just because I feel that not prepping for it will enhance the observation. And so I'm going to take a look at some stocks I know have followed this trend. Well, there are some really good bio spec stocks that have followed this pattern. And everyone's saying this thing is going to go higher. The only thing in my book here that says it might go higher is that the MACD is over, and an indicator line is over 0 point, which 0 point is the histogram mid there, and your cash flow is pretty high. So I mean, strength is not though. So we can take a look at this. If you notice on these pharmaceutical companies, when they get a huge move like this, you get a bounce in, you get shorts closing out, you get a bounce in, you get bulls coming in, you have shorts closing out here, and you get more bulls coming in, and then you have more bulls coming in. So, that being said, let's take a look really quickly at some, and this is non-prepped. So I could be way off, or this could be interesting. So let's take a look at the common consensus. So if you look at some of the forums or whatever, or the trading communities, is that this is going to go higher. My opinion is that this is going to go lower. I have buy orders set below where I previously bought in here and here. I have a feeling this is going to come back down. So if we just take a look at current moves SPHS, let's go back. A little different scenario because you didn't have a major buy-in by a huge corpse, but you have a huge move here, shorts coming in, shorts closing out, shorts closing out, shorts closing out, bulls coming in, same deal here. And what you can see on this trend is that the trend is not to go higher on this particular stock, and this is not exactly the same, but the pattern is fairly close. You will see I do have, well, actually, you know what? I don't have noted here. Well, you can look at my other videos. I do have some buys on the lows and sells on the highs on this stock too. This is one I play actively. But the general trend, there's no big pop here. There's no big pop here. This thing does not come back up to the highs. It's not going to. It's not going to until major news comes out. And major news is going to take you 6 months to a year to 2 years. Let's take a look at wow, golly gee, not exactly the same pattern, but we can see something here. I mean, this is a fairly long move up, but the move right here is actually what you want to look at. Then the sell-off, shorts closing out. Then the sell-off, shorts closing and bulls coming in. and you have that repeated. Shorts closing out, bulls coming in, shorts closing out, bulls coming in, and shorts closing out, bulls coming in. And on each of those moves, the percentages change. The first move here is majority of shorts, minority of bulls. By the time you get down here, it's a majority of bulls, minority of shorts. But what you will see is, while this one's a little bit exaggerated over a longer term, it's a similar pattern. Here's RNN, Rexin, a stock I've followed for a considerable amount of time. Not 100% on the same, not 100% matching the metrics of the other, trades, but a similar situation where you have a semi-huge move, not semi, that is a huge move, but in this case, there are some resting periods, so that kind of makes it a little different. But overall, the idea being that you had a huge move up, and then I actually drew this before this actually happened. I drew this from up here, so fairly accurate on my predictions, a loose prediction. But you had a huge move up, and then you had this drop out, and you have some shorts closing here, and I said this might move up, continue to move up here, but if you want to follow the pattern, you might have a move down and then a move back up. And generally that's caused by the fact of the strength of news. The strength of news, if we go back to the strength of news, you have two factors, and this is what you need to look at. The only reason the stock is being propped up, by the way, you have the strength of news in this move up based on phase data, and the drop based off of a secondary offering, which was closed out after hours by some major institutions, and you had some shorts that made some money on that, and then they stopped making money on that, which dropped it back into where the actual buy range of that secondary offering was. The fact that the buy range, and this was the reason I drew the buy range of the secondary offering, is right here. A buy range of the secondary offering is creating a support level in this stock, which is kind of odd, because had that secondary offering not had a substantial and notable range of prices, this thing would have fallen right through until it found a valuation in the market. Right now, the valuation in the market is being generated by that offering. So it's bouncing off of that because not everybody, but a majority of major players know that major institutions bought in this range, so that buying when it gets to close to that range is semi-safe. Considering it's spec pharma. That being said, there is limited chance that news and the news of the buy-ins of larger institutions in this range here, green range, the chances of that creating a major upward movement, in my opinion, are fairly slim, because they have not created a situation where they said this thing is worth $10. They've created a situation where they say this thing is worth somewhere in here, and really they probably want to buy it in here. So I believe we're getting propped up temporarily, and that is why I bought and sold. So I'm not hating the stock. Don't get me wrong. I really do like the fact that we got a correction on the MACD and indicator above 0 point here, which that is very good. And anytime both those lines are above 0 point, you have a potential for upward movement, especially when they're consolidating. But the chances of this falling through and getting back down into this buy area are fairly high, because I believe that this move is kind of inflated off of the fact of the news of the secondary offering. So that's my opinion on AUPH, and you have to take that with a grain of salt because I don't know anything. But I did close out my position, and I will buy this when it comes into the green zone here. So I could be wrong, and this thing could take off like a rocket launcher. But I really would have to ask this question, and this is the question you have to ask yourself: is there a reason that this thing should come back up to these levels? Is there a reason? And right now, of course, they do have a presentation or something tomorrow or whatever. But right now, we had good news on the phase data. It's still pretty far out, and I believe that the fact that it's still pretty far out is going to create, this movement because it's still pretty far out. So good luck, everyone. If you are long right now, I hope I am wrong. So, then I will miss some of the cash. So that's where I'm at right now at AUPH. Good luck, guys.